Hello and welcome to this application. I want to show you how you can use it. Maybe you will find it useful for you. So the application is started right here in the Windows taskbar. Right click on it and let's go to the first screen, which is task management. Okay, this is one of the most important screens because it's the place where you can create new tasks. Let's create one. Let's suppose that we get a new task called my new task, and now we have to attach this task to a project. Let's say that it's SV. The deadline for this task should be tomorrow at 12 o'clock. I estimate to work 5 hours on this. The task provider, so the person that gave me the task, should be Roman Schröder, and the priority should be high. And now that's enough information. Let's save this task. Once you press save, you will have this new task in your task list. Is this one? As you can see, there are all the information that I specify. Of course, you can change some information directly into this list. For example, let's change the task provider to Reinhardt graph. Basically, you can change any information that is in a bold column. Now we created a task, and let's start working on it. Please notice that the status is new. And for start working on this task, right click on it and say start. Now the task is started. I'm working on it right now. The status has changed to progress. Now let's do some things with this task. Also, this tool is for making documentation for your tasks. For example, you can create comments. Let's say that I create my first comment for the task. Let's say this is the task description. And you can use this button to make screenshots. Let's create one. For example, let's make a screenshot right here, and you can draw different shapes, and then you can say save, and here it is, the screenshot. Also, in task comments, you have the possibility to create task links and file links. For example, let's say that this task it's related to, and now I will create the task link to this one. So I will just drag and drop the task from the task list right here into the comments section, and here it is. This is my first task link. And for example, let's create also a file link, and let's say I should use this file for testing. And now here this A is for attachments. If you press on this picture, file list will open, and it's the same story. You have to drag and drop a file from this file list to comments. And now my first comment is ready. I can save it, and I will say save, and here it is. It's right here and saved. Of course, you can For example, for task links, you can do different stuff. For example, if you right click on it, you will get a menu and you can view the comments only for this task. For example, view comments, and here it is. Or if you press on the file link, you will open this file. Okay, that's enough information about task comments. I think you have an idea how to use it. It's very useful. Now let's go back to task management. So my new task is started. Let me show you some views. The most important view, it's a view for day. Basically, this is the place where you can see all your activity for a day. For example, for today, those are my tasks for today, and here it is, my new task. This so each task has a color, dark blue, red, green, and light blue. This color is important because it links the task to a task interval. This is the task interval sections. So as you can see, I have started my day with this task, so the red one, with other tasks. Then I continue to the green one, and so on. And you can see that my current task, called my new task, has this light blue color. So is this one. It's a very small task interval because I just started the task, but you can use this feature if you want to see, if you want to expand the task intervals. Okay, if you don't like the color for task intervals, you can specify your own colors. Just press here, and here you have the possibility to define your own color. For example, let's define one. Let's say this very dark green. Add color, and here it is. Okay, now let me show you some things that you can do right here. This application is not only about task management. For example, you can also create reminders. Let's create one. I want to get a reminder in a couple of minutes. So if I right click on it and I say create a reminder, I can define one. Let's say don't forget to call the client, and save. So it's right here into my list, and you can see also an image for this reminder. And at 20 and 26 minutes I will get a notification. Okay, other things that you can create are notices. For example, let's create a notice, and I will say here I was in a break. And save. And please take a look. This is the icon for the notice, and so on. Also, you can create meetings. Let's create a meeting for 21 o'clock until 22. Of course, now it's late. My meeting, let's name it. and I will have my meeting with my friends, let's say it. And here it is, the reminder that I just told you, that I just created before for 20 and 26 minutes. Don't forget to call the client. Okay. Now let's get back to the meeting. So I must provide some description. Usually you can provide the meeting, your what is this meeting about, where it is, in which room, or with who do you have meetings, and so on. But I will insert a very short description. Let's say blah blah blah. Okay, and I will save this meeting. Yes, I forgot to specify the end time for the meeting, so it starts at 21 o'clock and it will cover 1 hour, so it will finish in 22. And now I can say save, and here it is. And also you can find the meeting right here into my history panel for today. Is this one. You can see some information. Of course you can edit this meeting if you want, but it's not the case right now, and so on. So before this meeting you will get a notification with 10 minutes earlier that a meeting will take place, and you will never forget about this meeting. Now another feature is that you can work with task intervals directly here. For example, let's add a short break at 12 o'clock. I will position my mouse on 12 o'clock, right click, and I will say split. So as you can see, I split this big green task interval in 2 parts, and now I will select one and I will say that this task interval starts at 12 and 10 minutes. By doing this way, I just added a short break of 10 minutes right here. So you can change the working time right here. Of course, you are interested in the time you spend for task. It's right here. So the time and the total time. If you are curious about the difference, you can consult those help icons. So you will have a clear idea what is the difference between time and total time. Of course, for today I worked 8 hours and 11 minutes until now, and I have an overtime of 11 minutes because usually I have to stay at work 8 hours. You can configure this value right here if you go to configuration. There are many things that you can configure, but I will not tell you such details in this presentation. So this is the value. You must stay at work 8 working hours. And this is the finish line when you get 8 working hours. Okay, let me show you other views. If you go to view for events, those are all the events that are important for you and your work for a period. For example, you can see my meeting that I just created, also the notice. This is the current time position. Here I have the deadline for my new task, so I have a red flag. Until this time I should finish my task. Of course you can create lot of events right here, for example notices, reminders, milestone, meetings and so on. Also you can view a specific day. For example, if I go to Tuesday and I say view day, this will open view for day and for Tuesday, so for 10 of February. So you can see my activity and so on. Of course, I use this application from 2012. So for example, if I go to February 2030, all my work is here, so it's easy to see and to find some information about what I did at that time. For example, if you are using this button, you will see all my comments that I added for that day, so on. So there are many features that you can discover by your own. Now let's switch to another view. Let's go to view for task. For example, if you want to see all the days that you are working for a task, for example, let's take this one. For this task I work on 2 days. I spent 2 hours and 31 minutes, and this is the time I spend on each day. Of course, it's the same story. If you want to see this day, just right click on it and say view day, and this will open the target day. Now if you go to view for period, this is the place where you can see for example the activity for a period, and especially for a month. For maybe you are curious for November, what are all the tasks that you worked, what is the time that you spent on each task, and what is the total time for November. So as you can see, I work 155 minutes and 30 minutes, 155 hours and 30 minutes. I had an overtime of 3 hours and 30 minutes because I remember you that I usually have to spend to stay 8 working hours, so I had some overtime for November. Of course, you can use task groups if you want to group some tasks and you have to see some reports over the group. For example, let's say that I want to see all the time I spend for each task provider. For this, I have the possibility to create task groups from task provider names. I will say build all. Those are all my task providers, and I will bind all task providers to each task. Bind all, and now you can see in my task group all my task providers. And if I press report, I will be able to see all the time I spent for each task provider. So if Reinhard Graf asks me, for example, how many hours do I spend on his tasks, I will be able to tell him that I spent 1 hour and 30 minutes. So this is also a nice feature. I think that's enough information for this presentation. As you can see, there are a lot of screens that you can use. For example, let's talk about reminders. There are a lot of possibilities to create reminders with fixed date, with more advanced by selecting a day from the list every Friday, for example, at 13 o'clock. between today and 29 February next year. And you will get a reminder, for example, let's say reminder X. So each Friday you will get this reminder. If I say save, and if I go to views for events, let's select the next year. So for each Friday, I say starting from today, so this is the first Friday, you will get this reminder. And if you go to the next one, is this one in 70 days, then in 31 days, and so on. So there are a lot of possibilities to create reminders, and also there are a lot of possibilities to create meetings, repeating meetings, and so on. Thank you for watching this presentation, and I wish you a fine day. Bye.